Hello there, Aries. Thank you so much for stopping by for your monthly tarot video forecast. This forecast is going to be breaking the month down into two segments. The first segment is going to be April the 1st through the 15th, and then after that we'll come back and we'll look at the rest of the month. But I want to do a nice in-depth forecast so that you guys have a good heads up on any energies that are moving your way, so that you can either relish them or and appreciate them, or head them off at the pass. Totally up to you what you want to do with them, but this gives you a heads up so that you're prepared either way. Okay, so like I said, we are starting off with April the 1st through the 15th to begin with, Aries. And the first thing that we are looking at here talks to me about your home environment. Now, it looks to me like your home environment, there is a lot of competition going on for something within your home. So this could be that there's sibling rivalry, or if you have roommates, there could be a competitiveness that's going on there. And I think you are really trying to make a decision in this environment about which way to go. It looks to me like there could be somebody asking you to choose sides whenever we look at this home environment. And it looks to me like whatever decision you make is one that leaves you heartbroken either on one side or the other. It's just a different version of heartbreak. So obviously you want to change that energy. It would be a good thing if you could bring some peace into that home environment so that everybody could get along. That way you don't end up having to choose sides. Now let's look at your subconscious leanings. You are thinking about somebody, female version for most of you, not all of you, but for most of you it is a general reading. But female version of a person, somebody who has plenty of resources and feels very confident in what she has available to be used. And this is somebody who has been really generous to you. And I think that you are thinking about making an offer to this person and wanting to make some type of offer to them that has to do with getting away or detaching. So this could be somebody that, you would like to offer them a chance to come over to dinner at your place. Maybe you're offering them a chance to go on some kind of trip with you. Maybe you're making a road trip and you want somebody to go along with you. But this is somebody who, they feel they've basically got everything that they need here. But I feel like they've been, looks to me like in your subconscious, you're just feeling like there needs to be some kind of reconnect here. Like you guys may not be as much on good terms as you used to be. And so you're wanting to do something to sort of get away with this person, or even just to get away and let this person detach from some of the things that are going on, making that person feel stressed out. So that's what's on your subconscious. I don't know if you're actually going to do it, but I do think that it's on your mind and it's a possibility. Now, looking next at the cards, we're looking at learning style and also communication style during this time frame. I do think that there's something that you're really trying to dig in and find out more about, do some more research on, but I think the information that you're finding is pretty scarce. I don't think you're finding a whole lot, and I think that that's sort of an unsatisfactory situation with where you're trying to find out that particular information. I do feel like you could actually be teaching other people some kind of information during this time frame. For some of you, this is going to be formal teaching, but for others of you, this could be just in the shape of advice or mentoring, kind of pulling somebody in under your wing and helping them along. And then also, as far as learning, it looks to me like you're going to be finding out about some things that are a little bit more on the dark side than the light side. So things that are a little bit heavier, a little bit more morbid, or a little bit more black magic-y or voodoo-y, things that are on the dark side. I think you're going to be finding out about. I'm not sure that you're actually like looking for that information, but I do think that you're going to be learning about it either way, whether you're looking for that information or not. Now, as far as communication style, it does look like you're going to be reaching out to some people during this time frame. Some of these people are going to be new people, but some of them are going to be reconnects with old people as well. Not like biologically old, but people that have been around in your sphere of influence for a while. And I think that, this may be that you're working on building up your support network. It could be that you're inviting somebody to, a bunch of people to a celebration. It could be that you're just reaching out because it's their birthdays. There's a lot of different ways that this can manifest, but I do see you reaching out to begin new conversations with quite a few people during this time frame from the 1st through the 15th. I also see at the same time that you're starting new conversations with some people, there is somebody that you're going to be cutting off and spending less time and less energy and less effort communicating with during this time frame. And then there's also, it looks to me like there's somebody that you're almost forced to talk to. So I don't know if this is a client, this is a family member, but this is somebody that you feel really obligated to communicate with. And so I think you are communicating to this person just basically out of obligation and just whatever it is that you feel obligated to say to them. And that's pretty much it. Okay. Now, looking next at work during this time frame, looks to me like there's a lot of confusion at work. There's a lot of infighting and backbiting at work, and it looks to me like you're kind of, I think that you see all of this. I think you can see right through it, Aries, and it looks to me like you're not really, I don't want to say you're not really letting this affect you. I don't think you're letting it affect you in a negative way. I think you're kind of pushing that energy off so that you can continue to focus on your own goals. You're refusing to get distracted by the backbiting and the fighting that's going on at work. You're refusing to get distracted by the confusion. I think in your mind you're just saying, well, it'll be settled one way or another. I don't think that you're getting too involved in that confusion. I think that you're staying very focused on what it is that you want to manifest as you go through this time frame. So not really letting anybody throw you off of what it is that you want to accomplish when it comes to work. Next thing we're looking at is telling me how your personality is, in what area it's being grown or expanded during this time frame. It looks like there's something going on that should have been over, that you're having a hard time. You have had, in the past at least, a hard time wrapping up loose ends. It looks like you may be going back to that thing to really get some closure and call this a done deal. And you may be the one that has to say, look, this is done and over. I don't think that the other people involved are going to say that. I think that's going to be you. And I think that's where you're growing. And this whole idea of, this really should be over, but it's not over. I need to make it over, and then going and actually making that officially an ended situation, whether it's a relationship, a contract, or whatever it is that is playing out in your life there. Now, for a lot of you, it is going to be a relationship that's been sort of on the downside for a while now. Next thing that we have coming up talks to me about those things that you stand for. And then we're going to look at whoever it was that, because somebody will confront you about this. They'll either ask for an explanation or else they'll just out and out confront you about it. And so we're going to look at how they feel about you after, and how they feel also about this situation that you're standing for after you've had your conversation. So it looks to me like there is somebody that you like, but you are taking a break from this person. And I think that you're at a point now where you're ready to end that break, and you're realizing that, you know what, I really don't want to put any more energy or effort into this situation with this person or with this thing that I was attracted to, whether it's a person or an idea or a business plan or whatever. You stepped back to get objective and take a break from it. Now that you've thought things over, you're realizing, I don't want to invest anymore in this. How the other person sees you after you explain the situation, they see you as really not being willing to work with somebody. I'm hearing not being willing to compromise. They see you as somebody who is really kind of all out for yourself. And they also see you as somebody who is happy. Heaven forbid you be happy I mean, they have such a negative construct around this, seeing you as being, all out for yourself and unwilling to work with somebody else and happy. I mean, that tells me right there that, first of all, this person doesn't have a very healthy outlook on how you run your life, but also that whatever this is, where you have, separated and thought about things and then decided not to put energy, if it's making you as happy as this other person thinks you are, then you obviously made the right choice. Obviously. All right. Next thing that we're looking at, Aries, talks to me about where you're sort of changing perspective and where you're changing direction during this particular time frame. So this is your flex point, basically. And what we see here is that you have a lot of friends that are actually helping you to sort of hold your ground. Apparently, where you're going to be calling something quits, I think this other person involved or this other group of people involved is going to still keep trying to resurrect whatever it is that you've called quits. And it looks to me like you have friends around you who are helping you keep your backbone in place to remind you there's a reason why you called it quits, and there's no real, nothing's changing. There's no reason to come back. So you've got some support around you, is what I'm saying here, as somebody is trying to bring this back. At the same time, I do think that you're disappointed that whatever this is over. I think that you did have high hopes for it at one time. You thought that there could be a lot of fun and a lot of inspiration in this, but I think that even as you're rethinking it, the idea of coming back together with this person is, or this group of people, whatever this case may be, is really stressing you out. Yep. And it looks like in the end, the person does actually come back to you and try to get you to come back into some type of an agreement with them. I think when they do that, that's a mistake on their part, because that's when I see you really kind of letting them know how you feel and what you think about the way that they have behaved up until this point. And I think that you're going to say this in a way that's very calm, like scarily so, if scarily is a word, frighteningly so. And I think you're just going to lay it out for them. Look, this is what happened, this is what happened, this is what happened, and that's why I am where I am today. That's why I feel the way I feel today, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing today. And I think that that conversation is going to be one that you come away from feeling really good about this idea that you were able to stand up for yourself and be very clear in what it was that you were standing up for and why. Now, what we see here at the end of this time frame, Aries, is you really focusing on work and focusing on taking control, taking charge of your life, getting things back under control is what I'm hearing. And I think that that includes financially as well as emotionally, just really taking control. Okay? So that's pretty good. I definitely like that ending there, Aries. Thank you so much. I will be back in a moment and we will look at the rest of the month. Thanks for being here. Thank you for being here, Aries. We are back for April the 16th through the 31st. My lips were getting a little twisted around there, not wanting to say the right thing. But we're looking at April 16th through the 31st for you guys. Let's see what comes up here. Here we go. And this is a reading for Aries. Those of you who are cross watchers, you're welcome to be here. Please know energies are not reversible on my channel. So what you're seeing is actually the reading for and about Aries. Okay, so Aries, let's start out with your environment. What we have showing up is that there is something that has gone on in your environment that really kind of left you feeling like your security had been taken away from it. have been taken away from that environment and left you feeling unhappy. Now I see you recovering from that situation. Things are getting better. You're regaining your ground back. And I see you starting to slowly get your happiness back and get your self-esteem back up from whatever this was that happened in your environment. So I like seeing that improvement there. That is fantastic. And remember, we saw you the end of the last cycle um, with regaining your self-esteem as well and taking control of your life. So I like that, because that kind of bleeds into and leads into this next cycle. So I'm really liking to see that there's some kind of recovery going on, especially when it has to do with home and family. That's always a good thing to see a recovery happening there. Now, subconscious leanings. Looks to me like you're feeling a little bit detached from somebody, a little bit put off to the side or a little bit out in the cold, and you're making some plans. I think you're making some plans to take a vacation. It says here you're making some plans to let go of some kind of responsibility. You could be making plans to walk away from a job as well. You could be making plans to retire so that you can feel like you're more a part of things socially. But I think for the majority of you, you're making some plans in your subconscious mind. You're deciding, you know what, I am going to take a vacation and I am going to go visit so-and-so. I like it. All right, next thing, Aries, what do we have showing up? This talks to me about your learning style and also your communication style during this particular time frame. Learning style, what I have showing up is that you're paying attention to emotions, and what I'm hearing is your own emotions. So you're learning really a lot about yourself and what makes you tick right here. Also coming up during learning style is you are learning how to stand on your own 2 feet and take away the crutches that you've stood with before. So, there could be other thing. That's really the first thing that I think of when I see this, with you really getting to know your emotions and what makes you tick and taking away the crutches, kind of suggests to me that maybe what we're dealing with is there is this idea of letting go of some addictions that used to like ease how your emotions were or ease your sense of the emotions could be happening for some of you. But for others of you, there could be other things that you leaned on. Maybe you leaned on to help you with life. Maybe you leaned on a significant other more, or maybe you leaned on other people in your family or your friends. And you're learning how to stand on your own 2 feet at this point. With support, yes, but not with crutches. Now, what else do we have as far as your learning style? I do think that you're learning about handling your finances, handling your money. I think that you have an abundance of money and you're taking the time to figure out what's the best way for me to handle that. Now, la da da da, communication style. There is somebody in their sphere of influence that you're communicating with once in a blue moon during this time frame. So maybe once during the whole April 16th to 31st, maybe twice. But I don't see a whole lot of communication with that person. And I feel like it's your choice. I don't feel like this is them ignoring you or anything like that. I feel like that's your choice. I do feel like you are starting a lot of new conversations with different people in your sphere of influence. Once again, just like last time frame, some of these are going to be new people that you're just meeting. Some of these are going to be people that you've known for a while, but starting new conversations about new topics that you haven't maybe talked about with them before. And then last but not least, as far as communication style, I think that you're going to have a lot to say during this time frame that is very positive and very happy and very cheerful, very cheerful. And I see you being also with that card that suggests, a lot of truth, a lot of honesty, a lot of transparency as well. Now, looking at work, Aries. Work is interesting. It looks to me like during this time frame, there's somebody else that you're depending on at work. So there may be something going on with a project where you're depending on somebody to give you accurate numbers or accurate data or information somehow. But there's something going on where you're depending on somebody else at work. I think that you are continuing forward. So this, it doesn't mean like there's a new job or um, a new project even. This just talks about continuing forward with something at work that you have been working on for a while already. And I think that some of the new is wearing off of that thing, whatever that is. I think the glitter or the glamour may be wearing off, and it's time to really roll up those shirt sleeves and dig in. And that may be where you have somebody who's helping you. You may be consulting with somebody to help you really dig into this project and to keep it moving forward. Or you could have an assistant as well, just as easily. So it's a general reading. It's going to come through different for different ones of you, but hopefully you can see where it fits into your life, especially when you go back and listen afterwards. All right, now we're looking at that part of your personality which is being grown or expanded right now. It looks like there's a lot of cooperation or collaboration that's happening in your sphere of influence, and I think that that collaboration is something that you've sort of procrastinated on or held back on because you're not so thrilled about who you're who you're collaborating with. So you procrastinated on this collaboration. Just because, like I said, I don't think you've been too happy about who you've actually been collaborating with, but I do feel like this collaboration is something that's successful and it's something that helps you to move forward into the next phase of whatever this is. Okay, next thing that we're looking at, Aries, talks to me about those things that you stand for, and then that's going to be something that somebody has asked you about or confronted you about. So we're also going to look at how they see you in this situation after you guys have had your discussion about it. So there is a situation with some memories from the past that are coming back to you that are not good memories. Those are kind of bad memories, and I think that this person that was around for these bad memories, or who sort of was the person that was with you as these bad memories were created, is coming back and is making an offer to you in some kind of relationship sense. I don't feel like this is a financial offer. So this could be, something that they would like to do together. This could be, hey, do you want to go out for coffee and talk a little bit, or do you want to hang out a little bit, or I don't see this as being a huge, like, this is not a marriage proposal or anything like that. And this person doesn't even have to be a romantic partner. It could be a friend from the past that, you guys have some unhappy memories together. So this person is making some kind of offer of communication or a little bit of effort that they might want to put into this relationship at this point. However, Aries, I can tell you from what I see here that you are going to be, your response is basically going to be, whether you say it or whether you just think it and act politely, your response is going to be, this is a little too little and it's a little too late. As Pat Benatar says, I think that's Pat Benatar says that in a song. It's a little too little and it's a little too late. So this person, they can offer till they're blue in their face. I don't think you're going to be interested in taking them up on whatever their offer is. Now, whoever it is that's confronted you or asked you about this, how they see you whenever they're looking at this, first of all, they feel like they're actually learning something from your situation, okay? So if they're learning something from your situation, they're watching what's going on, or, maybe as you've told them about what's going on, I think they're learning a little bit of something about how the situation is all playing out. And I think that I think this sends them into a point where they want to isolate themselves and they want to kind of think about things. It sort of comes to me that this person also has a relationship or had a relationship with the one who's making an offer to you that you used to know in the past. So this may be that you guys were both friends with this person, or maybe you both dated this person at different times, or maybe the same time, or whatever. But there's some kind of interaction that this other person that you've explained this to has also had with this person that you're just, you just feel like it's a little too little and a little too late. So I think they are going into a thought mode, an introspective, really search their soul type of mode over this whole thing. And this brings a lot of ease of heartache to them. This brings them some relief as far as heartache when it comes to this other person. So if this is a friend that basically disenchanted themselves from you and from this person who confronts you, then just hearing about how this person is behaving now, and that this person is trying to make things work again with you, makes them feel better about this whole situation. So that's kind of that's an interesting little situation. It'd be great if you guys would put in the comments how that's working out. I would be interested to hear. We could have a regular soap opera going on in the comments from how that looks. All right, let's look next at your flex point. So this is going to be where things start to change. Your perspective is going to change, and that's going to change how you interact with things and sort of turn your trajectory here. So Aries, you are definitely changing something, and in a big way. I think that you have had a point in time where you were letting other people make your decisions for you, tell you what they expect from you, and you were trying to live up to that. I think that time is dead. I think you're tired of trying to live up to other people's expectations and not even knowing what your own are. I think you're done with trying to do that. And you are, once again, taking more control of your life. But this time it comes up that you're taking it back. So where before you were taking control of your life, and obviously to take control of your life, there's some level of taking back that's involved in that. This is different. This is like somebody kind of came in and sort of hijacked a part of your life and started making decisions for you and telling you what to do. And you're just like wrenching that part of your life back and saying, you know what? No. I'm done with letting you make my decisions for me. I'm done with letting you walk all around my territory like you own it. Okay? So you're taking control back, and this is a more dramatic version of taking control back than what we saw earlier in the month. Also going on at the same time, I do think that you're learning something new, and you're really doing a lot of research, I think, on the different options you have about how you can do things to improve your life without necessarily being the provider or the sugar mama or the sugar daddy to other people in your life. You're looking at options of what can you do for yourself and finding out and doing some research on those. Now, also at the same time, I do feel like you may not be doing so much work right now. You may be taking some kind of time off. And I don't feel like this is an unhappy thing. I think you're getting a lot of joy during this time off. And you may even be changing location as you go into this time off or as you come back from it, either way. So I think that you're taking some time off from work as you're taking control of things. You are doing things that make you feel happy and satisfied, and you are definitely, definitely changing your perspective if you're not actually changing your geographic location. I think for most of you, you're changing your perspective during this time frame. That ties in with the original core here of changing who's in control, and I think you're really, really making the time to appreciate that. And that may have to do with somebody at work who is just trying to make too many decisions for you. You might have told them, go take this job. And how does the song go? And shove it. Now you're enjoying some time off. It doesn't look to me like you're alarmed at all at having this time off. Now, where do we see you at the end of the month, Aries? I think that there is some truth coming out. I think you're actually expressing more of your truth to the people around you, where before you've sort of been biting your tongue and holding back. You're kind of done with that right now. I think you are expressing your truth to some other people. And yes, I do feel like it's more than one. And I feel like you are also you're also doing some things financially too. You're paying something back or paying something off, and you do have something new that you're interested in that you want to put energy and effort into. And so this is the beginning of investing in something new. And I do mean the very, very beginning. This is just at the first couple of thoughts and conversations. It's not at the point where you're actually investing your time, energy, effort, or finances into it yet. This is just at the time of thinking about it and making plans about it. Okay? So that's your month, Aries. Thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate it. I hope you guys have a fantastic month. If I don't see you between now and then for a private session or a private reading, then I will see you back again on the next video. Peace out.